When you picture Julie Andrews floating down from the sky with her umbrella, I mean, it's pretty easy to assume her life is as flawlessly pristine as the character she plays. But welcome to our new deep dive into the real Julie Andrews.
Yeah, it's such a fascinating topic.
Right. Today we're using a stack of sources, like a Gresham College academic lecture, some biographies, and entertainment reviews to uncover how the ultimate icon of wholesomeness actually became Hollywood's most ruthless master of reinvention.
Well, and the underlying thread running through all of these sources is what academics call the Cinderella or Galatea trope. Think of the Pygmalion myth, where a creator sculpts a statue and basically brings it to life.
Oh, right.
Her entire career is built on this architecture of metamorphosis.
Okay, let's unpack this. Because framing her not as a static princess, but like a survivalist is a massive shift.
It really is.
I mean, we all know she was a child prodigy with a freakish 4-octave range, essentially paying her family's bills in the London slums during the Blitz. And her definitive roles, Eliza Doolittle, Maria von Trapp, Queen Clarisse, they are all about massive social and personal transformation.
Oh, absolutely.
But I have to push back here for a second. Did Hollywood executives repeatedly cast her in these roles simply because they mirrored her own real-life leap from poverty to stardom? I mean, that seems a bit too neatly psychoanalyzed, right?
Yeah, I get that, but it's less about executives analyzing her past and more about what she instinctively projected on camera. The Gresham College lecture points out that her ability to represent social mobility was incredibly potent because it wasn't just acting.
Oh, really?
Yeah, it was muscle memory. She actually grew up with a violent, alcoholic stepfather in a slum. Adapting her identity was literally how she survived her childhood.
Wow, I had no idea about that.
Right, so when she transforms on screen, you are watching a woman draw on a very practiced psychological mechanism of molding herself to fit her environment.
But that exact survival mechanism kind of became her prison. She was so convincing at projecting wholesome perfection that the industry just locked her in a box.
Completely trapped her.
Exactly. Which makes her next move so fascinating. She didn't just slowly shift her image, she actively weaponized her 41-year marriage to director Blake Edwards to blow it up.
Yeah, she really used Edwards' directorial vision as a battering ram against her own typecasting. They made 7 films together, which culminated in the savage satire S.O.B.
Oh, wow. The one where she infamously bared her chest.
Exactly. And that wasn't just for shock value. It was a calculated, necessary destruction of the perfect nanny persona so she could actually evolve as an artist without the industry's suffocating expectations.
Well, here's where it gets really interesting, because that destruction paved the way for her modern era where she absolutely delights in playing villain.
Oh, she loves it.
We're talking voicing Gru's soul-crushing mother in Despicable Me, or the scandalous Lady Whistledown in Bridgerton, which is a role she records entirely in isolation, by the way, having never actually met the cast in person.
Which is wild to think about.
Totally. I'm genuinely curious, though. Is stepping into an isolation booth to play a villain a profound artistic rebellion against Mary Poppins, or is it just a veteran actor finally getting to have guilt-free fun?
Well, if we connect this to the bigger picture, it's really a psychological release valve. I mean, she spent decades physically carrying the rigid posture and moral weight of being everyone's favorite singing nun.
Yeah, that sounds exhausting.
It was. So delivering dark, sharp-tongued gossip allows her to tap into a cynical humor her early career totally suppressed. The rebellion is just in the sheer enjoyment of letting go of the posture.
But she really needed that practiced flexibility because in 1997, the core pillar of her identity was violently ripped away. A routine surgery to remove a benign vocal cord lesion left her with permanent scarring.
Yeah, it wiped out her legendary instrument entirely, leaving her with barely an octave. The biographies detail how this forced her into intense grief therapy.
I can't even imagine.
I know. This wasn't just mourning a career shift. It was an acute identity crisis. The voice that fed her family during the Blitz, the voice that made her a global icon, was permanently silenced.
So what does this all mean for you as the listener? It's like a master painter suddenly losing their sight, but realizing they still have hands to sculpt. She had to figure out how to be an artist without her primary tool.
And she systematically rebuilt herself by shifting her storytelling from vocal performance to the written word.
Right.
She co-authored over 30 children's books with her daughter, she pivoted to directing theater, and she even launched the Julie's Library Storytelling podcast.
That's incredible.
Yeah, she realized the mechanism of her talent wasn't the vocal cords themselves. It was her innate ability to construct a narrative.
She is truly a masterclass in resilience, not because she never failed, but because she never stopped molding herself into something new, which leaves you with the final thought to chew on today.
Mhm.
If the single greatest talent that defines your current identity was suddenly taken away tomorrow, what dormant part of yourself would you be forced to discover?